Good evening, guys. This is Dr. Paul. Once again, thank you very much for tuning to our channel this evening. I would like to talk a few minutes about confidentiality of medical information, or specifically known as HIPAA, that is Health Information Portability and Accountability Act. This is a federal law that was made in 1996 by the Congress. So the knowledge of this is very important for every physician because it has so many consequences. Now, before I go further, I encourage you to visit our website at www.usmlevideos.net. That is www.usmlevideos.net, where you have hundreds of videos posted for your study as you prepare for USML examination. And some of you guys have asked me about what is the best book to read for clinical skills examination. I recommend one book, that is USMLE Smasher. USMLE Smasher is excellently written, and it has patient cases, how you have to question a patient in a clinical interview, and how to answer, how to do physical examination, how to counsel. So all of these things are answered in this book, and this is the book I have studied for my own examination, and I recommend the same book for you. So please take a moment to look through that book. It is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble such websites. Now let me come back to my topic and talk a few minutes about this confidentiality of medical information. You see, it is a legal obligation. It's a ethical obligation to keep the medical information you obtain from the patient in a secure condition. That's why Hippocrates, he said, I quote his words in his oath, he said, "What I may see or hear in or outside the course of treatment, which on no account must be spread abroad, I will keep to myself, holding such things shameful to speak about." You see the very words, what I may see or hear in or outside the course of treatment, which on no account must be spread abroad. So whatever you see, whatever you hear, you should not spread that information outside your sphere. And many physicians and many nurses, they have been careless about this. Many doctors just talk about carelessly about their patients in elevators, in cafeterias, restaurants, or in parking lots, and that's a legally challenging situation, and it's almost a crime because HIPAA made it mandatory to follow its laws. Now it's a challenge because we are surrounded by people. Sometimes there will be ethical dilemmas, sometimes there will be situations in which you will be forced to do certain things just because you feel that you must do that in order to protect some family, in order to protect some of the society. Those kind of situations happen, and we can talk about them later. But there are challenges here. I mean, even with the electronic medical records and all the technological advances we are seeing in the medical profession, actually it became more and more complex to protect this health information, because even through the electronic medical records, the information could transpire without boundaries or restrictions. Now let me come to HIPAA Act, Health Information Portability Accountability Act. So this act, passed in 1996, has three main components. Number one, transaction. How the whole transaction is going on. Before you obtain information from the patient, you should take their consent. That's an important thing. If you release, before you release patient's information to any party, you should take their permission. They should give voluntary consent in order to transfer their information to other parties. Secondly, the privacy. Patient has a right for the privacy of their information. That's why you should not actually restricts patient's access to his or her health records. One of the most important component in HIPAA is patient can access his or her health information, and patient have the right to amend whether the incorrect information they feel in their records. So the secondly, it is a privacy, and thirdly, it is a security. Security is what you do to protect the patient's health information. So transaction, number 2 privacy, number 3 security. Those are the 3 important components of HIPAA Act, and it is a legal obligation to follow this even when you transfer information between physicians, and you should have taken these precautions, and you should refrain from divulging this essential information from spreading in various ways, like non-professional ways. And also you should take patients' permission before you give their information to friends or clergy or some insurance company, or if the patient requests you not to talk about his health information, you should not even tell that information to his wife or to his sons or daughters. The same thing with the wife. If the wife says, I don't want this information to my husband, then you should not share that information with her husband, even if that information is something he must know to protect his own life. So this is briefly about HIPAA Act. So patient has the ability to restrict his or her information under this act. So what I want to emphasize this evening is that this HIPAA Act, very, very important. I know residents who lost their positions. I know physicians who are facing legal consequences because they did not handle patient information carefully. So HIPAA Act has to be followed very carefully by every physician. The basic thing here is to refrain from divulging patient's information in unprofessional ways. If there is any doubt, you should always consult your hospital ethics committee before you do these things. And also HIPAA is a federal regulation, and hospitals put their own regulations, and even some states have their own regulations how to control patient information. Some regions have their own regulations. So just go through your localities regulations and make sure that you are not violating them in any way, because anything done, anything that is crossing the bar has legal consequences. Thank you very much, and as always, visit us at www.usmlavideos.net. that is www.usmlavideos.net. and as I said, for those of you who are taking a clinical skills examination, the cheapest way to pass this examination is to study this book, USMLE Smasher. The USMLE Smasher is available on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, and also on our website. Thank you very much. Have a great day.